I've had quite a few of these messages come to me about making really bad choices with women and dating and stuff from all age groups, and how do you test for that? And I'll give you some useful tests that you can use. Just finished up at the gym, got to get going for the day, got the beard all oiled up. By the way, if you guys have asked me what do you put in the beard, it's just coconut oil. That's it. Just virgin coconut oil right up your hand. You're done. Back in the day when I was a kid, there was a really good movie I think it was called Bronx Tale. And there was a scene in it where they talked about the door lock test. And the door lock test was simply, back in the day, we didn't have the key fobs. I don't even know where it is. I think it's in my gym bag. You'd have a key and you put it in the door, you unlock it, and, your girlfriend would get in or your date would get in. Well, we don't have that anymore, so you can't use that test. But basically, you'd walk up to the door, unlock the door, let her in, you walk around the back, and you just kind of look in and see if she would reach over and unlock your door. And, the concept or the scene in that movie, it was kind of like an Italian gangster movie, was, if she doesn't reach over and open the door, then he goes, she's a selfish broad, you got to dump her, right? So that doesn't exist anymore. I did use that in my younger days when I did have to unlock the door, and it actually worked. It was fairly effective. So there's a few things that you can do now to kind of test chicks, to test women, to help you guys identify the good ones from the bad ones, because, guys are still making really bad choices, and I make bad choices so you don't have to. So let me share these 3 tips with you today. First one, this is the coffee test, I guess we'll call it. You're out with your date and you're going back to wherever you're going. Just pause for a moment and go, you know what, I'd love to grab a coffee from Timmy's or Starbucks or wherever you live in the world. Here in Canada, Tim Hortons is probably the more popular one. Forgot my wallet at home. Can you spot me on this one? And see what she does. A good woman would be happy to do that. I mean, obviously, if you've been dating, you've probably thrown some bucks at her here and there, going out for a movie or dinner or something like that. So for her to, brush off the dust on her purse and open it up and crack open $1.50 shouldn't be that big of a deal. If she fails that test, you want a deep six or just get rid of her. She's really just in it for herself. I have a really good friend that actually tested his ex-wife with that. She failed miserably. He still married her, and he still swears to the day if he would have, ditched her at that time, it would have been a lot easier for him. The second test is simply the no. Guys are dumb. Like, we just try to please or say yes all the time. We'll go watch the dumb romantic comedy or go to the art gallery if we're not interested in art. I'm a car guy. You guys know that's, those of you that have watched my channel for a while, that I started up Entrepreneurs in Cars because I like hanging out with entrepreneurs in cars. And, those are the sorts of events and things that I like to, place myself in. I like to be in that room, to go to the Cars and Coffees in the summertime. Go to the entrepreneurial events and things like that. So if a woman were to say to me, I would like to go to this art gallery, it'd just be like, no, I'm just not interested. I have no interest in art or whatever. And if she responds angrily or tries to shame you, tries to use shaming tactics, you can take a look at the Triggered video that I did a couple of weeks ago so you can get a better idea of the shaming tactics. If you're a real man, you would go with me or some shit like that. You want a deep six, or you just want to get rid of her. She's going to be a royal pain in the ass. She's going to try to shame you or convince you to do things that you're not interested in. And to be honest with you guys, we live in a world of, balance, and, feminism has come along and they want equality. Well, if she wants to go watch some, romantic comedy or go to an art gallery, let her do it by herself or with her girlfriends or with her mom or something like that. If it's not something of interest to you, just say no. And don't be a dick about it. Just let them know it's just not something that's of interest to me. There's other things I could be doing with my time. Another really good example that I could use from my own experience. I was asked to attend a dinner party with some people that I had met before that I knew that were just, how can I put it? You're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you spend time in rooms with people that are shitty and are going to lower your average and negative and really drain you like energy vampires, it's just a bad choice. It's a bad decision. And I said no to it. And she freaked out. She lost her mind. She was really upset. You shouldn't judge people and all this sort of stuff. And she started using shaming tactics. Well, I should have known at that point, because there's a lot of red flags with that woman that I was dating. But, things like that you can use to test them. So it's basically the no test. And the third and last test that you can use is basically the prenup test. And this will basically demonstrate to you in a very clear and concise fashion if this woman is into you for you, or if she's into you because of hypergamy. Now, all women are hypergamous. I gotta get going. I hope you guys can still hear me. All women are reasonably hypergamous, and they're going to look to benefit their scenario or to spend time with somebody that's going to up their average. You know, it's funny because they don't want us to say no to dinner events, spending time with people that are going to lower your average or drain you. But you know, they're always looking to marry up economically and make sure they find somebody that's in a better boat than they are. So the way that you bring this one up, you're not going to say, hey, you know, I need you to sign a prenup if we're ever going to settle down, or a cohabitation agreement if we're ever going to live together. Just bring it up in casual conversation. You know, a friend of mine was having a conversation, you know, with their partner, and they brought up the idea of a prenup. You know, you can mention it was a guy or a girl, whatever, you know, combination of that you want to use. You know, they brought the idea of a prenup, and they had that conversation, and, you know, just kind of like throw it off to her. You know, what are your thoughts on that? And again, you know, I actually had this conversation with a woman that I was dating for about 6 or 7 months, and when I had actually, I didn't mention it, she brought it up. She said that one of her friends was presented with the idea of a cohabitation agreement because she was pushing to live in. You know, she was down here, he was up here, he was fairly well off, and she wanted to move into his life. And you know, I said, well, that's pretty much par for the course at this stage. You know, if you're divorced, because I was divorced at the time, and you've got a child, you want to make sure that your wealth transfers to your child and, you know, isn't distributed places like, you know, other people's children that aren't yours if things don't work out. And she got very upset, exceptionally upset. So that was a bad sign. Dumb me. I was thinking with the wrong head. I kept dating, but yeah, you know, I could have probably saved myself a lot of time. So there's a few good examples of, I guess, how you can shit test women, because women are always shit testing men. You know, it'll help you filter out the crap ones from the better ones, or the ones that are just there for your money or for your resources and aren't particularly interested in you, or they want to make you do dumb shit or try to shame you. So I hope that helps.